Alright, this tutorial is for people who just want to see the setup and not really worry about why we're doing what what we're doing. Um, and so, yeah, with that, let's get started. The first thing we want to do is in render settings is in a comments tab, change it from IFF to uh, OpenEXR. We're doing this because we want to take advantage of the 32-bit float workflow. And in our qualities tab, uh, all right, in our qualities tab, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom under frame buffers, you change this from the default 4 channels 8-bit to 4 channels 32-bit or even 16-bit will do. Um, and then in this tutorial, I have Final Gather turned on. You don't need it, but I have Final Gather um, activated, and that is it in the render setting. The next step would be to go to your the render view, and inside of display, under display we will change it from 8-bit integer to 32-bit floating point. Now you only need to do this once until you upgrade Maya to a newer version, um, and it will prompt you to restart it for it to take effect. So save it and restart the scene. And after that, okay, we have color management. Inside the color management, the default image profile is sRGB. We want it to be linear, and the display color profile, we want it to be linear as well. We're basically telling Nook to render out linear image and display a linear image. And because it is displaying a linear image, we need we need to find a way to tell Maya to display an sRGB version. And the way we do that is we select the camera. This is the camera, and this is what this is looking through the camera. We'll go inside of the mental ray tab. Here I already have a Mia exposure. Let me just break the connection and show you how to set this up. Um, now it should be inside of our lenses, inside the mental ray tab, and you can really use any of this too. You can use Mia Exposure Simple or Mia Exposure Photographic. Just for the sake of this demonstration, I usually use Mia Exposure Photographic because you have a lot more control over the look. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'll just use the Mia Exposure Simple. And the only thing we need from the lens shader is really this, gamma of 2.2. That's the only thing we need. And if we were to now we have set up our linear workflow, the next step would be to de-gamma every texture that you import into Maya. Now you don't have to. It depends on your situation, and most of the times I don't like to de-gamma my textures because I like the result that it gives me just without degammaing it. Now let's just take a render and see what I'm talking about. Now this video is gonna take a while, so I'll just come back when it's finished. Okay, and it is done, and as you can see, the image looks really really beautiful. Um, now now the texture on the floor um, has not been degammed. Now we're looking at this floor with the image already had the texture file already had a gamma of 2.2, and with this render we're adding an additional gamma of 2.2, and which makes it brighter. But in this case, I think I like the result that this is giving me. And let's just to compare this, let's just apply a gamma to um, our material to our shader. Now the gamma, I don't know exactly where it is in here. I just usually just search the name and it comes up. And we're gonna use this gamma to bridge the texture and the material. Let's just delete it. Click and just hit delete, and then we'll click on the gamma middle mouse click the file texture and apply it into the value, and then the gamma, click on the shader material and then apply the gamma in the color. Now by default it's linear, so which means there's no change in the texture. It's not really doing any changing, so we're gonna put the inverse of the texture that we're using. The texture is an sRGB image, so it would be 0.455, 0.455 and 0.455. This is the red, green and blue. And if we now, I've already saved it, if you were to take another render for comparison, this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's the texture got darker. Now it hasn't really, the image, the texture that we're looking at is the right texture. This is how the texture should look like, but I personally find this to be too dark. I like the result, the result that without the result that I get without the texture. Now I think it's just an artistic call only you can make, or the client makes it for you. Yeah, you don't really texture every material. If it looks right to you, then go for it. Now I'll pause the video here and then just come back when it's finished. Now, if we look at the difference between the two, here's the difference. Now this looks like it's getting darker, but in fact it's not. This is getting brighter. This is what the color should look like, and this is brighter. And the difference between them is that we're viewing this within a gamma of with an sRGB gamma, the floor, and on this one we're viewing it with an additional sRGB gamma. That's pretty much it. Like I said before, this is just an artistic call only you can make, or the person you're working for makes for you. And this is pretty much it as far as setting up a linear workflow. As far as texturing, gammaing your texture goes, I think you should just look at the difference and go with what looks right to you. Now, and that is okay. Yeah, before I forget, people on the Windows side are in luck, in that you don't have to bother with gammaing, degammaing your textures. There is this inside of your render settings, under the Common tab, you can enable color management and just tell Maya that any image that we import is going to be sRGB, and what we want to output out is linear. And it based on my experience, this feature does not work on Mac side. Both Maya 2012, I'm currently running 2012, but I think Maya 2011, it doesn't work on Maya 2011 as well. It only works on the Windows side. But yeah, you can enable this and output linear. What we're telling it basically is we want all our image coming in has sRGB gamma, which it does if you're importing in a JPEG image, and we want it to output linear. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. It will fix this for us automatically. Now, the one thing we have to be careful about is if you are importing using a texture that does not have a gamma, an sRGB gamma, then you would go inside of the texture. This color profile will be enabled, and you can choose exactly the gamma that the image has. But in this case, it's sRGB and the default. We're using the default profile output, which we have. Okay, did I just hit render? I think I did. Anyways, yeah, we can manually tell it sRGB, or the default is sRGB as well. Now let's hit render and see and see if there's any difference. Oh, there is difference. Now I guess they fixed it. I'm currently running Maya 2012, the latest version, the latest fix update. And now you can download the latest update in the Maya, uh, in the Autodesk site, and yeah, it's working. Uh, you should try it and see if it works for you. But here it looks like it's working. Um, and if it is not working for you, then I think you just need to update your Maya. And like I said before, the update for Maya, Maya calls it hotfix, and it's available in the Autodesk website. Um, you can download it and install it, and you should be good to go. Um, I tried this not too long ago, and it didn't work. But yeah, we're getting the same image as if we compare the two. It's exactly identical to applying a gamma on the material. No difference at all. Okay, there's one thing I forgot to mention, and it is that if you want to continue the linear workflow in post, then you have to remember to you can either just disconnect, break the connection, or if you're using a Maya exposure and you're using you have other settings that you want to keep, just bring the gamma back to 1, so a linear basically. And yeah, you can, this way you can continue a linear workflow in post as well. Otherwise, if you just want to output a JPEG or a TIFF image that's an 8-bit, then you need to leave this at 2.2. Otherwise, yeah, if you want to continue linear workflow, bring this back to 1, and that's it. That is it for this tutorial. In my next tutorial, I'll be discussing ways to speed up your workflow within Maya. I'll be talking about shortcuts and just little things that speed up your workflow.